It All Starts With You is a show where we're going on a journey of self-discovery and exploration. This platform is a place for women who are transitioning and transforming. Hi, I'm Eileen Lemmelman, licensed clinical social worker and psychotherapist. We are embarking on a trip together where I will be interviewing experts and extraordinary women such as you and me. Let's start the show. Welcome to It All Starts With You. I'm Eileen Lemmelman, your host and #1 best-selling author, podcaster, speaker, and inspirer of midlife women to live their best life. I am on a mission to help women and encourage them to find out their why, to find their calling, and to overcome limiting beliefs about age. In my chapter 10, called I Didn't Die at 60, I write, and I'm trying to open the book with one hand. I realized that I was straddling two worlds. The world in which my mother taught me that There we go. The world at which my mother taught me that life ends at 60 and you should not expect to live beyond those years, colliding with the world of limited possibility at any age. The world that was crying out to me for normalcy, connection, and hope. My soul was calling me to transform, and I knew I was not alone because I observed so many women asking the same thing. What is life all about? What is my life's purpose? Is this all that I can expect to have? And a very important question, what do I want? What do I really want? Did you ever ask yourself that question? Can you ask yourself what it is that you want in this life? Does it feel selfish and greedy? So many women don't ever ask themselves, either because they were not taught to do so or do not feel they have permission to ask that very important question. What do I want? We're going to go to a brief commercial, and when we return, we'll be interviewing Kona Wilkinson, a football player. Everyone has a story to tell, and I want to hear yours. I'm Eileen Lemmelman, host of It All Starts With You. Our stories are a unique way to appreciate, understand, and respect each other. Your story of transformation in life and business serves as an inspiration for us all. I'm offering you a platform to highlight your powerful message and journey. Contact me, Eileen Lemmelman, host of It All Starts With You, at itallstartswithyou.live. I look forward to connecting with you. We're back here I'm going to be interviewing somebody really special. My first guest is a charter member of the DC Divas and a pioneer of women's football. She played running back, linebacker, and tight end over her 17-year career as a football player. Welcome, Kona Wilkinson.
Thank you, Eileen. It's so good to be here. It's so good to bring this football energy from the Washington, D.C. area and education down to the South Florida area. I don't think the people down here in South Florida know about the Women's Football League and what we've been doing over the last 20 years to build the sport of women's tackle football all across the globe. And I'm grateful to be here with you.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Yes, we need a little education, don't we?
Absolutely.
So why, oh, why football? Okay, how did you get so inspired to go on this career being a football player in that athletic, physical strength sport?
Well, I think in your opening question, you said, what do you love? What do you really want to do? And when I was a little girl growing up, I was born in California, lived in Hawaii, and moved back to California for the rest of my elementary and high school years. And I remember looking at my grandfather, who was a really tall, strong man, and saying, I want to be big like you one day so I can play football, as a little girl. So I don't know how many little girls grow up looking at a football game and saying, I want to play football. And they're like, oh yeah, that's sweet, honey, you know, girls don't play football. So that was my initial dream. My biggest dream was to play football. And as I went through elementary and high school, I realized I was really good at sports. I played volleyball, basketball, softball, all the things. But my neighbor boys, they played football. And I would play in the yard with them. I'd get tackled, get the wind knocked out of me, and I loved it. And when they got to the age to play, I wasn't allowed to play. I was, you know, a girl, and I had the place where I was allowed to play, but it wasn't football.
Yeah.
And so that really inspired me when I was really young to put everything I had into all my sports, to go as aggressively and to prove that because I was a woman should not limit me from playing. And that has been my motivation my entire life.
Yes.
Was to show that being a woman should not put me in a different definition, that I can play sports, I can be smart, I can be strong, I can be all these things, and it's okay.
So how did you overcome those stereotypes of, you know, being a woman in a very, very male-oriented field, being physical, because even going into athletics as a career isn't necessarily a traditional kind of women's path. How did you overcome those stereotypes?
Well, I don't know if I had to so much overcome the stereotypes. I was just me. I was my authentic self. And there were no stereotypes about women playing football when I started, because in 2001 when I started playing, there was no women football players anywhere. So after we started playing, then there started becoming different stereotypes of what you think a football player should look like or be or do. But I didn't really concern myself with those because I was following my dream. And I think anytime you follow your dream, it doesn't matter what other people say. Right? Because that's their thoughts. My thoughts were always, I'm doing this, I love this, I'm supporting the effort of all women everywhere to really freedom of choice of how you want to live and how you want to express yourself.
Wow, you are really quite an inspiration, because you are saying to my community, it doesn't matter what people tell you to be or where you think that society tells you to be. You have to always follow your gut, your instinct, your why.
Absolutely.
So, you know, for my community that's watching and that feeling stuck or feeling really put in this, you know, mindset about age, about you can't do this at this age, what kind of information, what kind of advice would you give the woman who's stuck, who's feeling, you know, so hopeless and doesn't feel like she can move forward?
I would say look for a change, because change is inevitable, right? But is a change just going to be going down the same path, right? Or are you going to learn something new? Are you going to get excited about something? Because it really is all about mindset. I played until I was 43, and the last years in my 40s, I was recovering as well or better than I ever had in my life. They were starting to call me the ageless one. And a lot of that had to do with just my mindset, that I was determined that I was going to push through any adversity, that I was going to do that, in addition to learning about energy-based technologies and healing modalities that actually allowed my body to heal and recover at a faster rate and put me in a different position in relationship to aging on a physical level. So I did it emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally. It was all aspects that I started addressing, as well as just training. I was in the best shape of my life my entire career, and so I never let that drop. So someone who has kind of gotten stuck in that, I would say, find something new. Find something that you can do that you enjoy. Maybe it's just going out and dancing. It doesn't have to be at a club. You can go to drum circles. Out here in Florida, there's so many ways of conscious people gathering to allow them to express themselves that I was not exposed to when I was playing football, that are my new methods now of having fun, of expressing myself, and of getting out and really feeling young and youthful.
So, the woman at age 55, 60, 65 who's feeling, I can't physically do those things. I can't change my body. I can't really get stronger or, build my cardio up. That's beyond me. What would you say to them?
Well, if you're saying that, you're right. Because that's what you are declaring to the universe. That's what you are declaring to the cells of your body. The cells of your body are listening to the conversation that you're having about yourself. So the first thing I would suggest is just start having a different conversation with yourself. What if I could get into a little better shape? What if I could just go out and start walking? But I think the big thing is you have to find something fun that you enjoy, because you're not going to just start at 50 or 60 doing something that you hate, right? Unless you really get sick. And who wants to wait until you're sick to make those changes?
That's right.
So if you're not sick yet and you still have that chance, it's much easier to transition into a really healthy lifestyle while you still have that vibrancy and that energy to do it.
Kona, I'm going to quote you on Cell Talk. We have to start talking to ourselves. I love that idea.
Absolutely.
And we can talk to ourselves at any age, right?
And talk to them positively,
Yes,
number
yes.
one, with gratitude, not begging them, oh, please get better. No, you're grateful for the vitality and the life, and get out in the sun, bring the sunlight into your cells. Your body absorbs photons. So early morning, late evening, you don't have to go out in the middle of the day when it's really crushing your skin, but getting that sunlight, so important, just putting your feet on the ground. How many people have stopped going outside and putting their feet on the ground?
So who inspires you, Kona? How do you stay so positive and so, you've actually gone from football player now to healer. So who inspires you to stay positive and to move forward?
I don't think it's an external inspiration. I'm inspired by my own soul journey. I'm inspired by the evolution that I have gone through from one phase of life to the next phase to the next phase, and seeing how many times I've shifted, how much growth I've had, working through dynamics of playing football and being identified as number 33, the animal, which was my nickname when I played. Right? So some people, well, they wouldn't know me by Kona because that's the Hawaiian pronunciation of Donna, and that's the spiritual name that I've started going by as I've embodied this healing message. But really, it was dealing with the ego and dealing with the external sense of self. And I've come to just a deep revelation that who I am is so much more than I thought I was as number 33, the animal. And that I'm a divine being here in this moment to just bring in all the lifetimes, all the experiences into this moment, and to be as clear as I can, to embody as much light and to share that light and love with others. And that means healing of self first and healing of others as a part of that mission.
Wow, you are really quite an inspiration. Love having this talk, and I can see that you will really have more information, education, and spiritual kinds of messages that will really touch my community. So I'm going to invite you back.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, so this was such a wonderful conversation. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to be talking with another amazing woman. See you soon. Everyone has a story to tell, and I want to hear yours. I'm Eileen Lemelman, host of It All Starts With You. Our stories are a unique way to appreciate, understand, and respect each other. Your story of transformation in life and business serves as an inspiration for us all. I'm offering you a platform to highlight your powerful message and journey. Contact me, Eileen Lemelman, host of It All Starts With You, at itallstartswithyou.live. I look forward to connecting with you. As a best-selling author, I come across so many women who are looking for their why. My next guest, Lisa Berberian, found her why on a farm. Hello, Lisa.
Hi, Eileen.
I am so happy to have you here.
It's really great to be here. Thanks for
Yeah.
inviting me.
Yes, I'm so happy. You came a long way. You drove 28 hours.
I did from Southwest Missouri, a little town called Neosho from Boca. Yeah.
Oh
to
my
Boca.
God, goodness. So, how does someone start as a financial advisor in Boca Raton, living a very traditional kind of life, the suburban life, mom, career woman, and end up buying a farm and becoming a farmer?
So yeah, that I get that a lot. Actually, out there, I get that a lot. What are you doing here? So what I would tell you is that for true transparency, while I was a financial advisor, I really supported somebody because I was a single mom. I needed the stability. So I spent most of my career in a stable job, 9 to 5, and I lately started to come into my own, finding out what I liked, what was important to me, making decisions about my life. And I came across different farmers on Instagram and had friends that were involved in agricultural, and it spoke to me. It literally spoke to me. And the more that I started to look at it, I said, that's what I want to do. There's, that moment when it speaks to you.
Yes, it spoke to your heart and
It
your
really did.
soul.
It really did.
So, you're telling us how you kind of got the idea by just sort of beginning to question yourself,
Yes.
starting to explore. How'd you get the resources to buy the farm?
Well, so it was actually my parents were a big part of the support. I think my sister and my brother-in-law are with me out there, and my parents saw that passion. And I was at a point where every day was the same. And I think they saw that. And so they were really big supporters for the resources of helping us out with that, starting up.
So, in my best-selling book, I talk about transforming. And I'm wondering, why did you pivot? I mean, what was the real reason? I know you weren't. You said you were a little bored. It wasn't filling you. But what was the real inner kind of stuff that was going on for you?
Well, like I said, for me, it was every day was the same. And I hate the heat out here. So I couldn't, for me, I couldn't go outside. It was always too hot. I just, I'm in an association, so I couldn't do projects that I wanted to do. I couldn't make noise. I couldn't do all that stuff. And I knew that I had to be free. And the more I thought about it, that sense of freedom just grabbed me. And when I'm out there, I am so free. I'm free. And so the pivot was the connection to that feeling, that sensation of being free and being able to do what I wanted to do.
So it really sounds like it's about finding yourself.
Very much so.
And it also sounds like as you are really planting seeds and the ground is growing, you're growing as well.
Absolutely. And it's funny because that's a literal sense too, right? Because we're doing a lot of planting. And it's, you reap what you sow. And I've become closer to God, and that's been a big part of my the feeling to keep going and to contribute, because it's not just about what I want, but it's also about what I can give back.
I love that. So many women, so many people in general who really are very, very confident in their transformation, in their why, are really, really faithful people too.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
always nice to have something else, a higher power to connect to.
So, if someone in my community, a woman who's in midlife, decides that they want to follow their calling, like they know they need to be free, they need to do something. Like I have people who want to open up a floral shop or want to open up a bed and breakfast, who want, there's a variety of different things that they want to do. How would they start? What would you recommend?
I can tell you that just the fact that something calls to you, that is just your passion, right? So one of the things that was really important for me, especially with what I was going to be doing, you can't just like jump into it. I mean, you do have to jump into it, right? But there were resources. I had to learn about it. I joined women's agricultural groups. I did seminars. I went out to Pahuska, Oklahoma, and did it's called the M5 Entrepreneur, like it's a mastermind workshop where it was a whole room filled with women, agricultural women, and floral people too, but different things. But those women inspired me to no degree. I was so inspired by them. But you have to
so
learn.
what you're talking about is community.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
You've got to find community.
And you have to learn.
You can't do it alone.
Yeah, go on YouTube. Go on YouTube. Search stuff. Read stuff. And now with social media, all you have to do is, search stuff and you can find other people that are doing what you're doing. And you'd be so surprised how willing people are to give you advice and help you out.
Well, people can find you on Instagram, can't they?
Yes, they can.
And what's the name of your farm?
Falcon Lake Farm.
So it's at Falcon Lake Farm, and you should definitely start following Lisa.
Thank you.
So, do you think you have found your why in the wide open spaces in Osha, Missouri?
I do. I think that I'm at the initial phases of my why. I believe that there's still much more to come. However, yes, I do feel that that feeling of the pastures and all, it's a wonderful feeling. Yes.
So I imagine in order to make such a huge change, you had to say no. You had to say no to a lot of things, a lot of people, a lot of mindsets, a lot of naysayers, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So talk to me about, how do you say no? How did you say no? What did you have to say no to?
I feel like if it was so strong for me that it was easy. It came easy. And it's not as much of a fight when it's something that you want. You know why? Because people sense it. Now, on the surface, was everybody like, you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. Yes, I am. I'm going like that. So yes, you have to say no. And you also have to say no to, you have to move forward. You have to concentrate on your goal. You have to concentrate on your mission. And people, always outside elements are going to come in. And there's one thing you can always say is, I wish I could help, but I just can't right now, right? So, and I think when you're authentic about yourself, it portrays to other people.
They really resonates with them.
Exactly.
And I think also when you decide that you're going to do something and you don't allow anybody to sway you, then people start treating you differently.
They're right on board. And now they say to me, you look so happy. I've never seen you look happier. Because that's what happens.
Well, so you took risks,
Ooh.
you took chances.
Amen.
And what are the rewards of that?
Well, we now have, so we're starting our farm, our homestead, and we have, 5 cows, we have 4 goats, we have 15 chickens, we have, now we're getting, and the reward is that you finally get to put your finger on what it was that you wanted. And there's no better feeling in the world to that. And, you know, you just fall into it. And that's what gets me out every day, because it's hard work. And I'm 57. And I made this choice at a really late age because I see them all young. They're young and they inspire me, but they're young. And it's hard, but that's what wakes me up and gets me out there every day to go take care of the animals. And we're
think-
buddies,
yeah.
too, by the way.
I know you and your
talk
animals
to
are
them all.
buddies. You've developed a lot of new friends on the
A lot of
farm.
new friends, exactly.
Some clock, some moo.
Exactly. Amen. And
I
they're-
love
they're
it.
the
I love
best.
it. Yes. And so you are an inspiration to so many. I mean, you're
hope
saying
so.
at 57 years old, you packed up and you went to Missouri. You started this farming. You know,
Yeah.
you bought wide open spaces. I mean, you were a
Yeah.
Boca girl.
Yeah. Well,
So who inspires you?
yeah, honestly,
inspires you now?
Honestly, now who inspires me are these young women in agriculture. And I'll tell you, if you follow like Carhartt ads or anything, those pictures are real people working. And the women in agriculture inspire me to just keep going,
I love that.
because it will work out. And I've learned so much from and they're all so willing to help you.
That's the beauty of
It's amazing.
having generational kinds of communities.
Absolutely.
So important to have
So
generational community.
So, and they're all so willing to help.
Yeah.
It's
And so I mean, I know you have products that you sell. So if anybody
do.
wants to buy products, they just go on Falcon Lake Farm.
yes.
Okay.
And we do have meats, but I haven't put them up on my website yet, but they're coming. So yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
All
Come check
right.
us out. And
Well,
yeah.
thank you, Lisa,
Oh, thank
for
you
being
so
a
much.
guest.
Thank
yes.
you. You've been a very good friend to me over the years, and I've been appreciated it very much.
Well, you know what? We are good friends to one another.
Amen.
I know. So here we are coming to the end of the show. Today's show was all about discovering your why. It might mean you're called to overcome stereotypes and step into unconventional, non-traditional roles as a woman. Let me close with an excerpt from my chapter, Called to Speak, Lead, and Impact, about my own why. My soul was definitely calling me to help women find their voice, the voice that society tells us to mute, and the voice that was considered odd in my own family. And women were watching. My message of hope and encouragement and inspiration resonated with women. My heart started singing as I creatively and intentionally was helping so many. I'm so grateful for leaping out of my comfort zone and discovering my why. I'll close today with the affirmation, as I always do. I deserve to live a life of passion, magic, and miracles. Have a great week, and remember, it all starts with you. You have been watching It All Starts With You. New and exciting opportunities are ahead of you. You are creating your own destiny. Until we meet again, my friends, it all starts with you.